Morning, it is morning. Lone Wanderer here. It's been a while, guys, hasn't it? Do apologise for not uploading any videos. I've been really busy over the past few months and weeks, doing lots of projects and also trying to raise charity as well. Come up with ideas for charity, which I won't go into. So this is not what this channel's about. So yeah, it's been a while, maybe it's a few weeks since I last video I did, just a bit of a gimmick really, just a bit of a laugh. Just went for a walk, so in Langwith, but I'm back out anyway, and crack on and do some bushcraft and do more videos over the upcoming weeks. Recently sold my Corinthia Dutch Army bag, BV bag, and replaced it with a Jack Wolfskin Gossamer 1, which I've been after a while now. The reason why I got rid of the Dutch Corinthia is because I wanted something that was a little bit higher, still low profile, but a little bit higher. The hoop section needs to be a little bit higher so that it's not, when I'm waking up, it's not resting, the cloth is resting on my face or forehead or something. And because I'm a side sleeper as well, just needs to have that little bit more room, headroom for me. So obviously I'm going to try that out in the wild camp, which I'll do a video, live video in the wild camp, and give you my first night's review in the Gossamer, Jack Wolfskin Gossamer bivvy / tent. So I wasn't planning on doing any videos today, but there's been a lot of videos online about pot hangers in bushcraft, and I thought I'll do a video on it because it is something so simple, but it's actually quite tricky to pull off, if you get me. So we're talking about basic bushcraft, a pot hanger, just a manual pot hanger that you lift out the fire yourself or transport it out the fire to your location, and you've probably seen it once I show it you. So what it is basically, come closer if you don't fall over. Okay, so basically what it is, it's a stick tied to a piece of cord, paracord, piece of string, whatever. And the idea is you put this in your water bottle, your stainless steel water bottle, to boil water or boil whatever, sterilize your water, whatever. And this little thing here is so easy to get wrong, and I know that because I've done the same mistake before. Sometimes you can do the stick too long, sometimes you can do it too short. Obviously if you do it too long, you can't get the stick out. If you do it too short, obviously the stick is going to come out the bottle when you lift it out. So for those people that's new to the bushcraft, which is what this channel is about, I'll show you the method I do. It's probably similar to everybody's method that they use, but I'll go with the ins and outs of it, and where some people like myself in the past have actually got it wrong. The only problem about this wood is it's this time of year it's full of mosquitoes. That's why I prefer winter or back end of when it starts to get colder. But anyway, I'm not going to have it on. So this is my water bottle. it's Vango titanium Vango Para bottle. These are mega expensive to buy, but they are worth it. As you know me, I'm a bit of a cheapo, so I didn't actually purchase this. I actually got it in a trade. So those of you watching this video saying, oh, he's got money to buy posh items, well, yes, this is a posh item, but no, I didn't pay full price, because I think the cheapest I've seen these is £120. £120 for a water bottle. Yes, it's all titanium all the way through. I've been looking out for a while for something like this, and I got this in a trade deal, so it didn't cost me money, only postage, so it was a bit of a trade-off really, so I was lucky to get one of these. But anyway, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to angle the camera down, so you're probably going to lose me for a second. Okay, so you can still hear my voice, you can still hear me, but I'm going to show you how this works. Okay, so when you're boiling your water in a fire and you need to transport it, this is what it's for. A little stick and a piece of cordage, and it's that simple. So when you come to lift it out of the fire, the stick goes in like this, and it hooks the inside lip of your water bottle, and then you simply just pick it up and then you transport it. Okay, so hello again. Okay, so here it is. You pick it up, you transport it to get off the fire, or put it back on the fire. And basically, once you've done, not the greatest camera skills in the world, as you know, when you've done, put the pot, this way, you put the pot on the fire, you bring the stick there, and then you pull the stick out. Okay, water's bubbling again, put the stick in the middle, and then put it out, and lift it up, transport it. Okay, now isn't that clever? Okay, it's a simple piece of bushcraft. It's very simple, but it is easy to get wrong. So I'm going to show you how to make one of these from scratch, and try and take on board everything that I say, because like I said, it's easy to get this wrong. The only problem with these, it makes a noise, but if you're stealth camping, just do it quietly and it won't make a noise. That's the only bad thing about titanium water bottles and stainless steel water bottles. But anyway, so how do we make one? So first of all, we need a stick. Now the stick probably needs to be about this thickness, so what's that, maybe about 4 millimeters thick. Test it before anything else. So do you think it will break? Is it too rotten? Is it too green? It will bend too much? No, I think this is fine. Okay, so without further ado, okay, so step number 1. Bring the camera out, and again, I'm sorry I'm going to be off camera, but go further back a bit. Okay, so going to be out of focus, but just concentrate on the bottle. Okay, so step number 1, grab your stick and give it a test, make sure it doesn't snap, doesn't break. Okay. Step 2, undo the lid of your water bottle. Okay, that's step 2. Step 3, what you need to do, now this is where people get it wrong. Okay, So this bit. Okay, so you don't want to make this stick too short, otherwise when you pull, the toggle will basically just tilt and then just go everywhere and come out. And you don't want to put it too long either, because if you put it too long and then you drop it in there, yes, it'll work. In fact, it'll work better than if you cut it too short. However, you won't be able to pull it out, even with the cord. The other way to pull it out if it's too long is if you have to fanny it about, manoeuvring the stick inside the water, you're boiling water over the fire, or even if you're taking it off the fire, it's still going to be incredibly hot, and then pull it out with your fingers, which is obviously going to burn your fingers in the boiling water. So that's not a good idea either. So for a bottle like this, doesn't matter if it's stainless steel or whatever, most of them are stainless steel these days. What I do is I get the stick and I measure the width of the mouth opening, okay, not the bottle. If I measure the width of the bottle, okay, this is going to make the stick too long and I won't be able to pull the stick out. Okay, so measure the width of the bottle first, creepy crawly. Okay, so once I do that, put the camera down again. Okay, so once I do that, on top of there, like this, and measure the bottle. And either with a knife, or I usually use my nail and just have a little nick, just a little nail nick to measure the other side of the bottle. Again, you can do this with a knife or a twig or something like that. Okay, so as you can see, made a mark there. Hard to see in focus with my nail, or you can do it with your knife. Okay, put the lid on that, just don't want any creepy crawlies in my water. Okay, so then you can either cut it with a saw. I mean, for a twig this thin, you don't really need to cut it with a saw. There's no point really, it might struggle. So I just baton it. So I'll get my baton. Okay, just use a block of wood and get my knife. Okay, so today I've got the K-bar warthog, okay, and get my stick and look for where I put the nail nick, which is just there. So now what I'm going to do is put the knife, simply put the knife on where the mark is, and gently baton it like this. Okay, and the reason why I say gently baton it is because if you're doing it my way, then this tends to fly off in all kind of directions, like a bit of a spring really. So that's the bit that you're wanting. Okay, so it's measured up, I've batoned it, cut it. Again, you don't have to baton, you can use a saw, but I suppose if you've got a little pocket saw like on your Swiss Army knife, then that's fine. Okay. Then what you need to do is to remove the bark, because I don't want bits of bark dropping in my water or anything that's on the bark or anything like that. So I tend to just strip the bark off. You can do that with the edge of your blade like this. We could do it from the, if you've got a 90-degree spine or squared off spine, you could do it like that. I prefer to do it the spine way. Okay, so scrape all the outer bark off, as much off as you can. Now this K-bar warthog, obviously I've modified it, I have done a video on it. It didn't come with a 90-degree spine, so as you can see I've had to put one on there. It's made one hell of a difference. Okay, remove the bark on the other side as well. It's been seasoning quite some time. I think this is ash, Usually use it for fire purposes. So we've got that. Okay. Make sure you get rid of any knots that are in it, any poking out bits. That seems to be fine. Maybe just get rid of that one, smooth it out a little bit. That one. Okay, so that's fine, that's good to go. Okay. I don't know what steps we are counting because I've lost count. Okay, so sheath your knife because we no longer need the knife unless you're cutting the cord or you've done the first bit wrong and you need to cut another piece. Okay, so put your knife away, put your block away and your baton away. Okay, so next, get your cordage. Okay, so got this cordage. I can't actually remember where I got this from. I actually got it from a charity shop, and it's pretty strong stuff. And it was in a big reel, so I bought it, and they're only £1. So this is what I use quite a lot for bushcraft. Okay, so next step is, okay, so you've cut the stick to the same width as the mouth opening on your water bottle. Okay, so next step is to attach your cord to this. Now I use generally use a slip knot, as long as it doesn't you don't have to use a slip knot, as long as it doesn't move up and down as much. If you're not too sure how to do slip knot, I've done a video on that as well. So make a bite like this, grab the tail end or the free end, wrap it round the loop like this, and then put it through this loop here. It's really hard to tell, but I'll show you anyway. There's many ways of doing a slip knot, but this is just my method of doing it. Okay, so pull it tight like this, and there you've got your slip knot, so it can freely move up and down the line quite freely like that. Okay, so we want this to go on here, and again, look at the shape of your stick. If it starts to, if it's got a bend in it like this, turn it upwards like this, because you've got more chance of it gripping the inside of the water bottle. Okay, so it's got a slight bend in it, so I'm going to turn it upwards. I'm going to put this cord on here, roughly in the centre. So hold it between two fingers like this, and then pull. You can see the slip knot has grabbed it right there. Okay, so make sure it's centre. That's the most important thing. Okay. Then what I usually do to secure that even more, I've left a little bit of the tail end there, a little bit longer. I've done that for a reason, so I can just lock it off. So I just do like a just normal knot, like an overhang knot or something like that. Square knot, it doesn't really matter as long as it grips in place. Start to do this with one hand, but okay. So put your locking knot in like this. You can use your teeth if you want. Doesn't really matter. Used my teeth in the past. Okay, and that just secures the slip knot even more. Okay, so this is what you've got. So you've got this secured on there. This is only for demonstration purposes, so you can cut that off if need be, if you don't want it dripping in your water, whatever. It's not really essential, it's not really toxic or anything like that. So you've got your stick, you've put it on your piece of cord. Thinner cord the better, really, because it's got less chance of slipping off. If it's thicker paracord, then obviously you're going to need a thicker stick, and then that's where most of your problems are going to be. Okay, so I'm going to angle the camera down again to here. water bottle, open the water bottle. Okay, now this is if you've done everything correct up to now, then this should work. Okay, so a lot of people I've seen on YouTube, believe it or not, actually put the stick and they try and put it in the middle like this. Can you see that? They try and put the stick in the middle. That's not where it needs to go for me. For me, when I've done that in the past, it can quite easily slip. Okay, so what I do is actually move it to the back of the bottle like this. Okay, so if you can see that, move the camera around a bit like this. Okay, so you can probably see it now. Okay, so it doesn't want to go in the middle like that because it's very easy to slip. Okay, you want to go to the back of the bottle there. Okay, and then you can lift it up like this, because as you can see, if you've done everything correctly, the bottle is very sturdy. You can move it up and down. Okay, very sturdy. And you can move it to your destination, put it down here and make sure it's on the flat level ground. And all you have to do is release tension on this line here. Just release it, put the stick in the middle and then pull out. It's that simple. You want to boil the water again, put the stick back in the middle like this, put the stick at the back, not in the middle, and then lift it up. Put it back in the fire or whatever you're doing like this. So this ground's not very level. Like this, release tension, pull the stick out. Okay, now that in theory is simple. It's a simple trick and it does work when you do it properly. Like I say, I've seen a lot of people do this wrong, and they try and put the stick, as explained, in the middle of the bottle rather than offset, which I've just shown you. And if people say, well, if you put the stick in offset to one corner, when you lift it up, all the water's going to spill out. Well, no, not really. I've never had that problem. Only once, a long time ago, that's because I cut the stick too short, and I was trying, this is when I was a novice, and I was trying to put the stick in the middle, say offset, and obviously the stick came out and the water went everywhere all over the floor. But like I say, you learn from your mistakes, don't you? And that was one of them. But really, I mean, you should really be boiling enough water for whatever you're boiling it for in the first place, for your food or for a cup of tea or whatever, something like that. You know, why would you fill your water right up to the brim for it to fall out or dribble over the side, over bubble? So you should never, when you're putting water on the fire, you should never overfill it, because not only are you wasting water, you could potentially spill it when you're trying to pull it out. So back to the camera. So that's what I mean by offset. Okay, so here's your stick, and like I said, instead of trying to put the stick and balance it in the middle to try and pull it out, as you can see, it doesn't work. So either put it there, or either maneuver it to at the back like this. Okay, before you obviously lift it out, make sure your cord is in the middle, and when you lift it up, it's absolutely perfectly fine. Transport it, put it back down, release tension, pull the stick out. Okay, so if you follow those few steps, there should be no problems with making this. And it's so easy to get wrong like I said at the start of the video, you make the stick too long, or and it won't come out. You make it too short, it's going to slip out, or you using the wrong cord, or your stick's rotten. So you should be checking these things before you actually put it in anyway. But like I say, mistakes happen. So I thought I'd show you guys the way I do it. And after my last accident, many years ago now, I've learned from my mistakes, and that's the way I do it from then on. And you could use the same method from the tripod, which I will demonstrate as well on another video. So it's exactly the same method, obviously, but you're not transporting it by hand, you're just dangling it from a tripod. So the same method really can be used for that. And so yeah, hopefully this helped you out, and follow the steps and you can't go wrong with that. I'm going to pour myself a cup of tea now because I think it's gone cold. Yeah, it's probably a mosquito in it. Lots of mozzies out today. But yeah, I will be uploading more bushcraft videos and tips for you, and more reviews as well in the pipeline. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it, and see you in the next video. Bye bye for now.